What does it really mean to live a simple life? In this episode of ZeroDay Learner, I share my personal thoughts about simplicity, not just owning fewer things, but living with less fear, less bitterness, and fewer unnecessary burdens. For me, a simple life means loving my family, accepting people for who they are, taking care of those I love, and appreciating the ordinary moments that often become our most precious memories. I also share my personal hope for a simple funeral, one centered on love, gratitude, and peace rather than complexity. This is not meant to tell others how they should live or honor their loved ones. It is simply the kind of farewell that brings peace to my own heart. Finally, I reflect on something I continue learning every day. Before blaming others, I try to ask what I can learn about myself. Kindness, understanding, and compassion may not solve every problem, but they can shape the person we become. These are not perfect answers. They are reflections from my own journey. If my thoughts encourage you to pause and think about your own life, I'd be honored if you join me by subscribing to ZeroDay Learner. Thank you for watching. Episode 4, Part 1. What does it mean to live a simple life? Hello, my name is Thao. Welcome to ZeroDay Learner. Lately, I've been asking myself a different kind of question. Not about religion, not about philosophy, just about life. What does it really mean to live a simple life? When people hear those words, they often imagine owning fewer things or living in a quiet place. But that's not what I mean. To me, a simple life begins in the heart. It means taking care of yourself. It means loving my family without trying to change them into someone they are not. It means accepting people, even when we don't always agree. It means taking care of one another while we still have the chance. It means enjoying ordinary days, because one day, those ordinary days will become precious memories. As I grow older, I find myself wanting less. Not less love, not less kindness, but fewer unnecessary burdens, fewer complicated expectations, fewer traditions that leave families exhausted instead of comforted. Even when I think about my own funeral, I find myself wishing for simplicity. I don't want the people I love to carry a heavy burden because of me. In my heart, I imagine a quiet ceremony at home. One person could perform it, not because traditions are unimportant, but because love does not become greater simply by becoming more complicated. If there is a soul, I would want to say something simple. Your work on earth is complete. Thank you for the life you lived. Please return home safely. And if there is another lifetime, I smile when I imagine saying, don't forget to bring your papers of origin, your marriage papers, your children's papers, your health, your happiness, and come back to enjoy life once again. Do I know that another life exists? No, I don't. It's simply a picture that brings me peace. Maybe living a simple life isn't about having every answer. Maybe it's about loving deeply, letting go gently, and leaving this world with gratitude instead of fear. That's the kind of life I'm still learning to live. And perhaps that's why I'm still asking questions. Thank you for joining me. I'm Thao. Welcome to ZeroDay Learner. Episode 4, Part 2. What does it mean to live a simple life? As I thought about a simple life, I also began thinking about a simple goodbye. Every culture has its own way of honoring those who have passed away. Many of these traditions come from love, respect, and a desire to help the family find peace. I respect those traditions. At the same time, I find myself hoping for something simpler when my own time comes. I don't want my family to carry unnecessary burdens because of me. I don't want them to feel they must spend more than they can afford. I don't want them to worry about whether every ritual was performed perfectly. I hope they will remember something much more important, that we loved one another. In my heart, I imagine a quiet ceremony at home. One person would be enough. Perhaps there could be a simple table, a candle, fresh flowers, or another meaningful symbol that reminds us of love, gratitude, and remembrance. The symbols themselves are not the most important part. They simply help us express what words sometimes cannot. If there is a soul, I would want someone to speak gently. Your work on earth is complete. Thank you for the life you lived. Please return home safely. May you rest in peace. And then I smile at one small thought. If there is another lifetime, please don't forget your papers. Your papers of origin, your marriage papers, your children's papers, your health, your happiness, your wisdom, and if possible, bring your sense of humor too. Whether another life exists, I cannot say, but imagining that simple farewell brings peace to my heart. And perhaps that peace is already a gift to those we leave behind. Episode 4, Part 3. What does it mean to live a simple life? As I continue searching for a simpler life, I keep returning to one lesson. Don't be too quick to see other people as the problem. Sometimes the problem really is outside us. People can hurt us. Life can be unfair. But sometimes the hardest questions are the ones we ask ourselves. Could I have listened more carefully? Could I have been more patient? Could I have shown more kindness? I've learned that I cannot control how other people think or behave, but I can choose how I respond. That choice gives me freedom. One idea has stayed with me for many years. Treat others the way you hope they would treat you. Not because everyone will return your kindness. Some won't, but because kindness changes the person who practices it. When I sincerely wish others well, something inside me becomes lighter. My heart feels more peaceful. Maybe that is one example of cause and effect. The kindness we give to the world has a way of shaping the person we become. I don't know if living a simple life means having fewer possessions. I think it means carrying less bitterness, less resentment, less pride, and more gratitude, more patience, more compassion. Perhaps simplicity is not something we find. Perhaps it is something we practice every day. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these conversations encourage you to pause and reflect on your own life, I'd be honored if you subscribe to ZeroDay Learner. My name is Thao. Until next time, may you take good care of yourself, cherish the people you love, and never stop learning.